Hello. Thank you for tuning into my channel. It is graduation quilt season, and I'm so excited to begin two of the three quilts that I have to do. Today, we're going to do a fabric pull for two quilts, one for my son and one for my niece. So if you want to join me on that progress, please stay tuned. This is hopefully going to be a pretty fun video. We are just pulling fabric. I am really looking forward to getting started on these graduation quilts. I have a second, like one day that I can spend working on this in between the bears and my mom's bag and my daddy's quilt, all of these things. And I just wanted to take a minute and start preparing for these quilts. I'm really excited. I've ordered two quilts. I'm going to take you over my shoulder so that you can see these quilt tops or these quilt patterns, excuse me, a little bit more closely. And then we can start pulling some fabric. So let's go over my shoulder and then we'll talk about them. You are sort of over my shoulder now, and we can look at these patterns together. For my oldest son and for my middle son, I've used original patterns to create their graduation quilts. But for these, I'm just doing something a little bit different. It could just be because I have three to do this year instead of just one like I typically have. But this is going to be a lot of fun. I've pulled two patterns that I really like, and I'll explain a little bit of them, and then we'll start getting to the fabric portions. Now, this one is called Stairway to Heaven. It is by Lori Dickman. And so I ordered it. I think I ordered it like last Thursday or something, and I got it on Monday. Or Wednesday. I ordered it last Wednesday and I got it on Monday. So that it came pretty quickly. And this is her YouTube channel is Quilting with Lori, and she really specializes in scrap work. So I saw this quilt and it's called Stairway to Heaven. And I thought of my niece as soon as I saw the pattern. She has a couple different layouts on the back. And so I love this, and it's going to be perfect for scraps. I'm going to use 2.5-inch scraps to create this quilt, or 2.5-inch pieces of fabric. I don't know if they're all going to be scraps, but we'll pull fabric and I'll show you kind of what I mean. I thought it was a pretty good deal. I don't really buy a lot of patterns, but I'm looking forward to creating this one. The finished dimensions of the quilt, if you make it her way, is 96 by 96. And then the finished block size is 16 by 16. So it's a really nice size block. It's going to use a lot of fabric, a lot of scraps. So I'm excited about trying that. I've already kind of gone through the pattern. And so I just know that I need 2.5-inch, a variety of strips at 2.5 inches. And then she has a tutorial for this block as well on her channel. So if you're interested, please check her out. I enjoy watching all of her videos. It's pretty fun. So this is quilt number one for my niece. For Cameron, he wanted something he's never seen before. And like I said, I did make an original quilt for my oldest. I made an original quilt for my middle, Carter. But this one I think is going to be really cool for him. I was watching one of the triple play videos and I saw this pattern and I just loved it. When my boys were little, they all had stars on their quilts. So it might be a quilt backing that has stars, or several fabrics in the quilt that have stars. And so this one is not going to be an exception to that. It is only stars. I love it. And then I'm going to put a special surprise for Cameron on the back of this quilt, and I can't wait to tell you what that's going to be. And this pattern is 4 10-inch squares, but you also need a variety of sashing. And I've already looked through, and you need 1.5 inch and 2.5 inches. I think that's right. So 1.5, yeah. So, oh yeah. So you just need 1.5-inch strips. So as we go through my scraps, I'm going to be looking for a variety of different colors. And then we'll start kind of playing through and finding the pieces. Now, as I said, for my niece's quilt, since we are doing 2.5-inch pieces, I am not really sure that I need to go through this scrap box because I have 2.5 inch squares, I have potato chip blocks, and I have some jelly roll strips already that will probably work. But I want to pull fabrics anyway, just for fun, because I think it's going to be cool. And maybe I can find some things that are not already cut up that will be perfect for the quilt. For Cameron's quilt, he wants school colors. So his school colors are green, black, and white. And since we need 10-inch squares, I'm going to look for green and neutrals that I can cut down to 10-inch squares. And then I'm going to look for black that can be cut down to 1.5-inch strips. And they have 2 lengths of the strips in the pattern. And I'm just not sure how I'm going to get that, if I'm going to have to piece some strips to get that length. I don't know, but I'm going to go through here and just see what we have. And then if we don't have enough, I'll go upstairs and finish it out. So how are we going to start with this scraps? Now I do have a small stash of 10-inch squares, and I have a ton of 2.5-inch pieces. So, but the place that we're going to start is my big scrap box that is full of things that need to be cut down. So I'm going to pull that over, and then we can get started. I also have a bin. I have 2 bins that I'm going to be trying to fill. This one is for my niece, Dominique. This one is for Cameron. So as I find pieces, I'm going to go ahead and put them in their respective bins. And then there's one more thing that I want to look for, and I'm not really 100% sure I should do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Let me grab it. Let's see. Oh, let me zoom out a little bit. You can't see all that. So the other thing that I'm going to be sort of shopping in my stash for is this quilt, this 3-yard quilt awareness, because I need more yellow, and I know that there's some yellow in that tub. So I'm going to put yellow in here wherever I can find it. So we're looking for pieces for 3 quilts. We're going to look for cam, green, white, or any neutral, and black. And then for my niece, we're looking for blues and blues, grays, dark grays, stuff like that. And then for the awareness quilt, we're just looking for yellow. All right, so let's see how this is going to play out. I'm going to turn you. I'm a little bit concerned because of the status of my room, but it is what it is. Here is my scrap tub. Actually, I'm going to go this way. And that way I can sit down and work while we look through the tub. I hope that I can get a timer set for about 10 minutes, and then we'll just see what we can come up with. So let me open the tub, we'll go through it, and then we'll see what we can find. I had to go upstairs and grab my watch so that I can set a timer for about 10 minutes, and then we will start going through the tub. Now it's almost overflowing, but again, I'm going to try and be very specific about what I'm looking for. Blues for Dominique and grays for Dominique, and then green, black, neutrals for Cameron that I can get 10-inch squares out of. If I can't get a 10-inch square out of the green or the neutral, I will leave it in here. And then yellows for the 3rd quilt. All right, and I put my tubs up here. You can't see the tubs, but I got them right here. And so we're going to set a timer. Let's see here. We're going to set this timer for 10 minutes, and then we're going to see what all we can get done. I haven't decided if I'm going to speed it up. If I start talking, then of course I will not speed it up. So here we go. Let's see what we can do in 10 minutes. All right, now I already see some yellow that is going to work for the attraction quilt because I need at least 2.5-inch pieces for that. And these are left over. These are actually from my Carter's quilt a long time ago. So all of these yellows are going to go automatically. And here's a green, but of course it's not big enough. Here is a small piece of black. I'm going to leave it out. Actually, I'm going to put this with Dominique's quilt because I may need some smaller 2.5-inch darks. All right, these are some other pieces that I think will go with Cameron's quilt because I can get the 1.5 by whatever the width is that I need. I'm a little bit concerned about the bias, but I'm not going to stress about it. The most important thing is to put it in the bucket. And I like that they are neutrally blacks. Like this car fabric, I don't think I'm going to put that in Cameron's quilt because it has too much color. But if they are like these leftover bits, I'm going to use those because I just need to get the 1.5-inch pieces. All right, so let's scoot that out of the way. Okay, let's see. Here's some more. And these are actually left over from my nephew's quilt, which is awesome because they will get used up. This is a black with a little bit of blue on it, so it can go with Dominique's quilt. Let's see, there's some more black. This one I don't think is going to be big enough for what I need for Cameron's quilt, so it's going to stay. Let's see, here's more yellow. And I'm just, let's see, I don't know if that's quite 2.5. Let's see. Nope, not quite. It's going to go in my string box. Okay. All right, let's see. Don't need that white because it's not wide enough. Okay. Oh, here's more of that black. All right. So the black for Cameron's quilt seems to be taking care of itself, which is awesome. And many of these blacks I just use. I don't know about the solid black, but I'm going to put it in there. Everything goes in here. And then if I don't need it, that's fine. Look at all of this black, but that's because these are from my nephew's quilt that I just finished in September, maybe. So all of this black can go. All right, so here's some more green. These are just not big enough. So just keep looking. All right, here's a little bit of bluish green. Am I going to use that? I don't think so. But here's some blue that can go with my niece. Okay, we're going to let that stay in here. Here's some more yellow. Let's see. And I'm concerned that I'm not going to get what I need for Cameron and Dominique. All right, so that's a bluish green. We're going to go with that. All of these yellows can go with the attraction. I call it attraction, but it's called awareness. So I don't know. Okay. And then this is a neutral. And I think the reason it's not going to work as well as we would like for Cameron's quilt is because the pieces that are not quite, the pieces that are 10 inches, I've already cut them down. So I know that a lot of this I'm not going to be able to find. All right, but I'm going to take this, I guess, and just cut the batting off of it, which is something that I needed to do anyway. And I think we're going to put this dark gray with Dominique's, or I'll do half for Dominique and half for Cameron because my strips for Cameron's quilt don't need to be as wide. So if we can get the 2.5-inch pieces for Dominique and then 1.5-inch pieces for Cameron, I think that'll be okay. And then we'll just use some dark gray. And I had thought about that. I don't know. It may not be the best thing. So we'll just see. But I'm just cutting this down. Since it's within the 10 minutes, it doesn't matter. And this batting needs to come off anyway. So, yeah. Okay. There we go. And this goes in the trash. And then this batting, well, I'm going to pull this batting off. This is warm and white, so it's going to go with my warm and whites to be put somewhere else. Okay. And it can go, oh, I don't know. All right, I'll put it in Dominique's quilt. And then this purple I actually need for something else. So I know that's not what this is about. So here is this is a neutral that I could get 10 inches out of, but I don't think I want it for Cameron's quilt, so I'm going to leave it in there for right now. Okay, and these are some great pieces of fabric that I love, but I'm not dealing with them right now, so I'm going to put that right there since it's kind of neutrally. And I think for my niece, I'm going to stick to the blues and grays and maybe some white. Here's some more yellow. This can go with the awareness. These are pieces of 2.5-inch strips that are not full width of fabric. So they really, oh, there's a blue that can go with Dominique. And then this one. The only thing that she said for her quilt was no orange. So everything else I think can go. I don't know about that one. I don't want to put that in there. Okay, so some of the leftover pieces from my rainbow strings will be in there too. So let's see. Keep digging. I love this fabric, but it's not going to work. Let's see here. All right, from here, we'll just pull out the yellow. I am looking for blue, but I'll pull out the yellow for that particular project. And then everything else will leave as it is. Okay. Don't see any yellow in here. No, but there's some light gray that I'm going to put there. Okay, and this is orange. So no. Okay, let's see what else we got in here. All right, nothing that kind of jumps out. And like if there are pieces, I'm really hoping for, this will go with Dominique's. I'm really hoping for some pieces that are 10-inch squares that I didn't realize were 10 inches. All right, these are some more, all these blues that can go with my niece's quilt. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm going to even be able to cut those up, but we'll see when it's time to put it together. Here's some more blues. More blues. Let's see. Blue, blue, blue. And in Lori Dickman's pattern, there are so many different cuts of the 2.5 inches that I think everything will work. As long as it's at least 2.5 inches wide, I'm good with it. And I haven't checked for lights, mediums, darks, but I'm pretty sure that her pattern calls for lights, mediums, darks. So I know I can work with anything in the quilt. So here's another blue. Okay. And still looking for yellow if I can find it. And this piece I do need for something else. So I'm going to pull that out because it can go somewhere else. And this one too, because I'm working on binding for my rainbow string quilt. And this is going to work. This is a piece of fabric from my Jamaican Sunrise quilt. So we're going to put that in my niece's quilt too. All right. So fun. I'm really enjoying going through these fabrics and just seeing what's in here. Some of these I've never used before, so that's kind of cool. All right, and then this one can go. And I'm going to put these butterflies in there because I want to. She actually has a quilt with butterflies on it. And so I'm going to put that in there as one of the lights because that's Auntie's prerogative. And here's some more yellow. And I'm going to use this one too as a light, I think, because it's Auntie's prerogative and it's so cute. I really like it. So we might have some whites in there and that's okay. I think she'll be okay with that. All right. Cameron's quilt hasn't gotten much love and I don't think we'll get it out of here and that's okay. All right. Up and there's our timer. So let's see how we did. One cool thing about this process is that my tote is a little less full than it was. I have made a little bit of breathing room in there, so that's pretty cool. Now let's look at these fabrics that we were able to pull. And I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. So here we go. And there's stuff all over my table, y'all. It is what it is. I know I need to get it done, get it cleaned up. We'll work on it. All right, so here is for Cameron's quilt. We found several black fabrics that we're going to use as sashing for this particular quilt. It's going to look great as sashing on the stained glass stars here. This is Missouri Stars pattern. I don't know if I told you that, but this is stained glass stars by Missouri Star. So these are some of the blacks that are going to be able to be used, and so I'm excited about that. I'm going to put the pattern in here and close up the box, so it'll be there when I'm ready to work on it. Okay, and then for Dominique's quilt, we have a variety of blues, a whole heap of different blues. We have a little bit of black down at the bottom and some dark gray, a couple of lights as well. It's going to give us a nice start once I'm ready to work on that. So that's awesome. We'll put Miss Dickman's pattern in here. And then last but certainly not least, this was kind of the bonus one. On the box, I put Attraction. It is not called Attraction. It's called Awareness by Fabric Cafe. This was a free download that I got from their website. And I just pulled yellow. So we have all of this yellow to go along with the quilt. So very excited. So fun to do a quick little 10-minute fabric pull slash declutter. Does it count as a declutter if you're just moving it from one tin to one bin to another bin? I don't know. But either way, it seems to work out. I also pulled some extra pieces that I need for my binding for the Rainbow Strings quilt, but they're going to go in a separate location as I get ready for that. Now, I'm excited that we got to share this quick fabric pull. I'm really looking forward to putting these quilts together. Let me know in the comments what you think of all of these patterns and how you think they will come together. If you've done any of these patterns, let me know. Or if you're familiar with the company or the artist, I would love to know that as well. If you have any questions about what you've seen in this video, leave them in the comments below. Thumbs up this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!